With that, are you ready to learn? Are you ready to grow? Raise your hands. Awesome. If you remember yesterday, I had told you we are once again inviting the master himself, the man who himself is an example. He's an icon in the handwriting analysis world. He's someone who can look at a person's handwriting and understand everything about human behavior, everything about that person's past, present, and future just by looking at your signature. He teaches people how to do that. But the best part about him is that he himself is one of the best human behavioral psychologists. He's someone who I believe understands human behavior more than anybody I have met in my life. He understands which lesson to give you, which lesson to help you learn to be able to help you grow in less time. How many of you want to grow a lot today in a very less amount of time? In just the next 45 minutes, how many of you want to experience large amount of growth today itself? How many of you would love to do that? Then make sure that you keep your notepad and pen ready. Make sure that you listen to every word that he says, like gold mine. Listen to not only the words that he says, look at his body language. Be focused, be present, accept his energy. It's not only his words I want you to listen to. I want you to receive his energy. Sometimes just being around the presence of extraordinary people and receiving their energy solves a lot of your problems. You know why? Because that doesn't solve anything for you, but it helps you upgrade your what? Everyone show me your hands. Your frequency, right? So be in the presence of this master, and most of you know him, but those of you who don't know him yet, he's someone who is our partner, one of the best coaches in the world, and our family and friend, Imran Beg. Everyone, please unmute yourself and say thank you and I love you to Imran sir again for coming and helping us learn and grow. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I love thank you for coming and sharing your energy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
sir, for coming.
for teaching us.
Give it up
Thank
for
you.
Imran
Thanks for
energy. Let's
joining.
go.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very
Sir, we
much.
love you.
Thank you, everyone. So,
And
Thank
the
you.
greatest lessons.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you,
We
sir.
love you.
Thank you so much.
So much for having us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Imran. As you can see, people are really excited to learn and to grow with you one more time. Thank you for taking time from your valuable schedule and making sure that every single person is constantly learning and constantly growing. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you, Viteji. We all are committed towards making them all win. We all committed towards, seeing them grow in their life. And that's what, no matter what conversations we bring in, no matter what modality we bring in, the complete idea is to add value. So how we can make you win. So that's the idea there. Thank you. It's always great to be here. And everybody, let's hear it for Miteji. He is amazing. How many of you agree with me? Like, I love him so much. And I aspire to be like him. One day I speak like the way he speaks. And look at that few minutes he spends with all of us. We all are charged up for the next day. Thank you, Miteji, for doing what you do and committedly showing up for the DMPs,
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to leave you with Imran, sir. How many of you promise to learn and grow and take every moment he says, every word he says like a gold mine? Raise your hands, please. Take your notepads. Keep your pens ready. Get ready to learn and grow. Here we go.
Thank you. Great. So it's great to be back here again. And are you all ready? If you're ready, show me your pen and say, yes, Imran, we are ready to take it forward. Today's session is going to be the highly anticipated session. You know why? Because all the logical minds there, all the people are looking for validation. Imran, I know you do handwriting, but you काम कैसे करता है? What is the logic behind it? What is the science behind it? How is that you change certain things in your handwriting and influences your subconscious mind? How many of you have this question? Just raise your hand and say, yes, Imran, I have this question. So today I'm going to give you all the logical insight. In fact, today is the day you're going to be falling in love with your own handwriting and you're going to be ready to actually apply this in your life. So let's start by doing this small activity. If you have a plain sheet of paper and a pen, grab it. And I want you to write something along with me. We're going to be using our handwriting right now to influence our subconscious mind. So everybody, there's a specific thing which I want you to write down and watch me how I do it. And you are going to be doing along with me. So the activity we are doing right now is called graphotherapy. Graphotherapy is basically a systematic way of changing your letters to influence your subconscious mind. So I want you to write this with me and see how I'm creating this onto the paper. You're welcome to do 4. Okay. Or if you want to do 3, you're welcome to do 3. But the condition is when you're writing, this is anti-clock. Can you see that? It's anti-clock, and make a point that all your O's are of the same size. So go ahead. You're going to be writing this on a plain sheet as much as possible. And your idea of writing this is you should be making sure that you are writing this in a most consistent manner. We call this as circular movement. This is graphotherapy. That means a systematic way of writing to influence your subconscious mind. So everybody, all that you have to do is write circles, which is anti-clock movement. Watch my fingers. The fingers are moving anti-clock. See everybody, my fingers. Watch my fingers. It's anti-clock. And my attempt is to make sure all my O's are of the same size. You see here? Now, how much you should be writing? Ideally, 1 A4 size sheet. So, but today we're going to be writing this only as a specific pattern. You don't have to write as fast as I'm writing. You can go slow. Even if you're going to take 13 minutes, 3 minutes to write the entire page, it is still acceptable. But the idea is not to just fill up the page. Its idea is to write the way it's supposed to be written. Come on, everybody. If you just joined in, grab a pen and paper, ideally an unruled paper, and write with us. Yes, you're welcome to write 5 together, Dr. Shruti, but 4 is ideal because you're all are getting started today, and some of you are doing this for the first time. So ideally, this many. So go slow, study, and focus on this. So I want you to write at least 4 lines like this. If you're done 4 lines, at least type in done on the chat box so I know that you're done. I need at least 4 lines. And one thing I want you to really pay attention. I'll tell you how to evaluate whether you're doing it right or wrong. I will tell you if you're doing it right or wrong. So I want you all, even if you're not completed 4 lines, it's okay because you can do this little later, but pay attention. I'm going to tell you how to evaluate this. Number 1, how many of you are able to pay attention that the spacing between every pattern is important? So you need to maintain consistency of spacing. Write down if you want to. So this is how you evaluate. What do you need to check? Consistency between the lines, between the pattern. Number 2, you need to make sure that all the O's are of the same size. I don't want you to write your O like this. Watch me here, everybody. How many of you realize this? Imran, sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, and it is not consistent. It was actually going up and down, up and down. So if this is called inconsistency, this is not a good sign. So make sure that all your O's are of the same size. So now the question is, Imran, what is the benefit of this? So you're telling me by writing this, there's something shift is going to happen in your brain. How is it possible? How does it really work? I'm going to tell you that. But before that, I want to share one more letter with you before we get on to the decoding part of it. So now everybody write the letter T. And I want you to write like this. See, the stem is going up and I'm writing balance and a little longer stem. How much longer? As much as the size of the stem. And make sure the cross is balanced. Everybody go ahead, do this with me. You'll be able to write, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you the benefits of this. I'll tell you the benefits of this. But right now, let's finish the writing part. I want you to write at least 4 lines. Come on, everybody. If possible, please sit straight. That's too much of leaning onto the table. Sit straight, your back as much as possible. So the best way would be everybody raise your non-writing hand. So if I'm a right-hander, the left-hander is non-writing hand. So go keep it to the edge of the table so that you don't bring your weight onto the table. Keep it on the edge. Keep it on the edge like this. See this? This is the edge of my table. So I'm going to keep it on the edge like this. So come back to writing. Sit straight as much as possible. Don't lean too much onto the table. Keep the smile on. Why so serious? It's not a punishment, it's an activity. Go ahead. I want you to write at least 4 lines. If you're done writing 4 lines, type in done on the chat box. Thank you. So now that you're done writing, now let me give you a little insight into what you actually did right now. So now if you really pay attention, what actually happened here is, everybody, if you're sitting there and wondering, Imran, how this change of letters is going to impact, before that, let me tell you what are the benefits of this. The first benefit of the circles is, how many of you have a challenge in your life? The one big challenge most of us are experiencing in our life is that, Imran, I am not consistent in my life. Raise your hand if you are into this category that, Imran, I'm not consistent. I start things, I don't finish it. I start things, I don't complete it. I'm inconsistent. I pay for the gym, I go a couple of days, maybe a month, but I'm not been consistent. I don't follow diet. I don't manage my money consistently. So consistency is missing in your life. Now, there are many areas in our life where the consistency is missing. But to begin with, can we focus on 2 areas which are the most highly important areas? Everybody raise your hand and give me 2, right? I'm going to give you 2 important areas where you need to bring in consistency, which is very vital and very important. Number 1, consistency in your behavior. How many of you think we need to figure this out? Imran, my biggest challenge is I'm not consistent with my behavior. So much so that I can't be angry also with one person for a longer time. I'm not consistent with my anger. I'm not even consistent with my happiness. I'm excited. I do the DMP. I'm happy and excited. The moment I shut down the Zoom, I go back to my world. I'm a different person. I start my day with a lot of energy, but I'm not being throughout the day the same energy. So, and you know what? Kids around us are the best people to figure out our inconsistency in the behavior. They know, aaj nahi baat karenge. Today is not the day for permission. Today is not the day for asking anything. You know why? They see the inconsistency in you. And people around you are stressed. You know why? Because they see that inconsistency in your behavior. When they thought you're going to get angry or upset, you did not get upset. And when they thought that you're never going to get upset this moment, this conversation, but you took it personally. How many of you know what I'm talking about? So the first fundamental area where we need consistency is our behavior. Number 2 area is consistency in our energy. The way your body operates, the way your metabolism operates, there's no consistency there. So on a subconscious level, we need to develop that. Now, the simple answer is that this is the solution for it. So if you want to develop consistency in your life, and you know what? The best way to evaluate, Imran, do I really need this, is how many of you will agree with me that it was not easy writing this? You started off very well. One O size was not matching the one with another one. One O size was not matching. One line is not matching with the other one. Is highly consistent just writing this part. How many of you agree with me on that? Look at the hands going up there. Okay, so this is the writing part. So this is, if you really want to building consistency in your energy and behavior, write this. How much you should be writing? 1 A4 size. How many letters I can write? How many elements I can write? I can write 4 or 5, but start with 4. Now, the second element is this T. This T is a result of developing your self-esteem. Self-esteem is a beautiful combination of self-respect and self-confidence together. This will help you to take action. This will help you to be more considerate towards your own self. You're going to be more compassionate. You're going to be more empathizing with your own self if you're going to be operating from this. And how do you write this? Simple. Just pick up and then write. You see this here? Now, there are two things which I shared with you. You can write one thing at a time. But right now, more importantly, the information I want to share with you is that what is this? How does it really work? Imran, how is that you're telling me just by writing this one letter, this letter is going to change my self-esteem? This O is bringing me consistency. So here is the science and the logic behind it. Everybody drop your pen and pay attention towards it. Thank you for participating with your video on. I really appreciate this. Really shows that you are operating with a lot of accountability when it comes to learning. So watch me carefully. I'm unveiling something for you here. Now, if you realize in a general scenario, if I have to write the word that, I would have crossed it here or maybe little up. So can you see that the crossbar, it's not really on the top. Ideally, I write it here. And if you really look into your handwriting, if you look at the overall number of T's you have written in your handwriting, some of you will have written like this, some of you little half, maybe little on the top, but you know what? It is actually fluctuating. Now, what I'm defining for all of you is that writing this T by putting your T bar on the top, how many of you are able to understand it is not just the way the letter looks. Pay attention, something important is happening here. Earlier, your T bar was being crossed here. Now you're crossing here. Can you see there is a shift happening here? Earlier, this moment, now this moment. How many of you are able to see it is not the merry change of the letter, but the look at the finger movements which is changing. See here, everybody. How many of you are able to see this finger movement change? Now, see this here. I'm going back to the T. Earlier, my finger movement was only here. I'm writing it here. How many are you able to see this finger movement here? Raise your hand if you're able to see this, right? So can you see there's a finger movement happening here? And similarly, if you're writing your O, you're writing with a anti-clockwise. How many of you are able to see there's a specific finger movement? If you really watch my entire hand, see how it is undergoing a shift here. How many of you are able to see there's a shift happening here? There's a shift happening here and everywhere. See here, everybody. So ideally speaking, what we are actually doing is, if you really look at your hand, your finger movements are getting impacted with every single pattern you write, including the T, including the Y, including the O, including the G which you write. So it's all about the finger movements. Now let's focus on these finger movements. And I want to share something with you, which is part of your graphotherapy. And you know what this is? Remember I talked about today is going to be the most logical explanation you have ever got about graphotherapy. Now look at this. The research done by UCLA, I'm starting from here. UCLA stands for University of California, Los Angeles, 1991, goes on to explain that by changing the movement of the index finger only, index finger is this, index finger only, a totally separate part of the brain was stimulated and produced different chemicals. Did you know that only a fraction of a centimeter difference in the movement of your hand could produce and stimulate a different part of your brain? It can and it does. After this research was released, there has been scientific laboratory evidence to support years of study of the science of handwriting analysis. This link between your handwriting and the stimulation of your brain is now clear. Yes, what you understood from this is Everybody, raise your right hand or the writing hand and do like this. So even if you have to move your fingers like this, the brain is speaking to your hand using neuro pathways, using the muscles, using the nerves. And this is bringing the movement onto the paper. And now what we are doing is we are reversing this communication back. So earlier the communication was coming from the brain to the hand, to the pen and to the paper. Now we are using the pen and the paper and the hand, and reverse communication is happening to the brain. So when you change your handwriting, it is not merely adding another letter to your name. It is not merely just changing the style of your writing. It is the movement of your fingers. Everybody do this. It's your movement of your fingers. And you know what? Your brain is a house full of chemicals. What is it full of? Everything is chemical, whether you like it or not. You are happy, that means there is a happy chemical your brain is releasing. You are stressed, you are depressed, there is a chemical which your brain is releasing, and your body is not able to cope up with that. That's why your energy is depleting. You are doing exercise, you enjoy doing exercise. You know why? Your brain is releasing certain chemicals when you do exercise. That's why you feel good about it. You eat particular food, you feel good about it. You know why? Your brain is releasing certain chemicals. So everything is chemical, including your behavior. So when you make changes in your finger movement, it is stimulating in the brain and releasing the chemicals, which is not doing enough right now. Are you all with me? So whether you're a left-hander or a right-hander, whether you're writing from your foot, whether you're writing with your mouth, the subconscious mind, which is there in your brain, it is the one which is making you write onto the paper. And we're using handwriting to stimulate your brain using the specific finger movements. And that's why we have been doing it. Now, the question is, Imran, is there any side effects of doing this? Is there something which we are actually focused on doing it? You know what? The best good news is that there's no side effects, because nothing extra going inside of your body. You're not injecting anything. You're not taking any tablet. You're basically empowering your brain to experience the power of graphotherapy. And that's why when you write something for a specific 21 days, it will bring in a habit. It will bring in a stimulation. It works. And you know what? Our ancestors, our elders already knew this power. But we have been deprived of it because we are aware of writing it. How many of you remember people in our home, they do beads? When you do the japna, when you do meditation. So what is the finger movement? The thumb and the index finger. See this? You do namaz. Okay, you sit, you have an elevation of your index finger. When you do yoga, you're doing the mudras, which we're doing it. Can you see that everything is index finger and the thumb stimulation? When you're doing rangolis, when you're actually doing the tilak, when you're doing the charawa, can you see that? Everything. But we are going away from it. And now we need the Western world to tell us, come back to writing, come back to the finger movements, come back to stimulating your brain. And that's how it is happening. That's why eating food with your hand has a different equation than eating with the spoon. Right? Your typing has a different equation in your brain than your writing. So this is the science behind it. And you know what? It is not my theory. It's not just me who's saying it. It is as simple as activating your brain to take care of itself. For example, I always give this example of, if you ever experience common cold, we normally take a tablet. Like there's some people who take tablets. And if you take the tablet is nothing but the solid formation of chemicals, which your brain can also generate. That's called immune system. But currently your immune system is low and you're not doing it. That's why we need to take tablets from outside. But what if I tell you that the chemicals which you are submitting to your body using the tablets, you can generate it with your brain? And is it as simple as doing some specific finger movements using letters? And I have tons of validations to show it to you, because if I'm going to tell you to practice this on a regular basis, this is how it is going to be working. And it's not me just saying this. There are tons of articles which is validating. How many of you are willing to understand this on a more deeper level? Give me a big yes if you're able to understand this on a deeper level. I'm going to show you validations. Remember, I talked about today's session is all for the logical brains. Okay. Now, What is the correlation between the handwriting, the mind, and the body? So what is the correlation? Imran, how does it really work? So now everybody pay attention on your screen right now. Handwriting engages multiple regions of the brain, promoting cognitive function and memory retention. The tactical rhythmic nature of your hand. That's why I said everybody do this. Can you see that? There's a particular rhythm to it. There's a very tactical movement of the fingers. That's why we wrote the letter T. That's why we chose the letter O. Has a therapeutic effect, reducing the stress and anxiety by inducing a meditative state. And you know what? Everybody take up this as a challenge. Next couple of days, in fact, until next Wednesday, write these 2 patterns. Pay attention to what is happening and come back and tell me. You will be experiencing these 2 important things. You will realize you're being more calm than before. You are not reacting, but you're responding to all the things the environment is exposing you to. How many of you are up for the challenge? I'm going to come back again next Wednesday, and you're going to tell me on the chat box, yes, Imran, I experienced this, provided you write this every single day. I'll tell you how to do that. What is the system? What is the process? But before that, let's understand more. The intentional, deliberate strokes involved in forming letters. You know what is a stroke? A stroke is nothing but the lines onto the paper, which has a specific starting, which has a specific ending. And I can go on and telling you more evidence towards it, but I want to tell you something. Watch me this. American Psychological Association states writing is no stranger to therapy. For years, practitioners have used writing forms to help people heal from stresses and trauma. Can you see that? This science is so very old that people already know it. And you'll be surprised to the next statement. Watch this. Now, the new research suggests writing may also offer physical benefits to people who are battling terminal or life-threatening diseases. And my understanding about the mind is that a healthy mind cannot have a diseased body. And if you're writing every single day in a specific manner, specific strokes, this is going to be influencing your brain to a whole new capacity altogether. And it is not just the validations from the American Psychology Association, including the Harvard Business School. Everybody is talking about this. So this is for the people who are not really able to put their head around saying that Imran, handwriting se hota hai. So चलिए मैं और आपको validation देता हूं. See, this is from the Harvard Business Review, published in an article just recently in 2021, which stated a certain kind of guided writing can not only help us process what we have been through and assist us as we envision a path forward. So this is why we say you can have a better life, you can actually create success, because you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. You're actually pushing those buttons and creating new patterns in your brain. It can lower our blood pressure, strengthen our immune system, and increase our general well-being. Yes, all this is just by handwriting. Writing can result in reduction in stress, anxiety, depression, improve our sleep and performance. By the time I come back to you next Wednesday, tell me all these things happening with you. And you know what? I'll not be surprised if you're going to come and tell me this. And I want to tell you something. The world is noticing this. The world is present to the power of it. Because you know why? Those of you do meditations, those of you actually do that, in a level, the level in which you need to really do, you know what I'm talking about. Handwriting and graphotherapy is basically activating your alpha state of your mind. And there are tons of articles. Look at this. There's an article which was published in 2020, talks about the healing effects of writing. And it is not just about my theory about writing. See how it is influencing. How, if you're not writing, how you're not practicing, say, a particular muscle in your brain. And look at this story. This is mind-blowing. Writing tests could help predict Alzheimer's disease. Yes, they are talking about handwriting, and that can actually help in identifying Alzheimer's, and this is doable. Corrections also possible. Handwriting is a therapy. So can you see that there's so much the world is talking about writing, but you know what? You are not writing enough. You're not doing enough. So this is some of the validations we are giving it to you that, okay, to be very honest, I know some of you don't need this. Some of you believe in the process. Some of you get this process, but somewhere deep down in our brain, there's one small space which has a question: how? Now that you got the how part clarified, I need a promise from each one of you. This is your routine every single day. Every evening, you're meeting Miteji in the evening for your daily magical practice. In the morning, I want you to spend time with your own self. We do have a specific, material which we send across for you to practice graphotherapy. But before I send you this, before you enroll into my program, I want you to take up this challenge because I want you to really see this is a doable science. It's easy to do it. All you have to do is every morning, wake up as a first activity of the day. Whatever is your morning. If your morning is 10 o'clock, that's your morning. If your morning is 4 o'clock, that's your morning. So whatever is your morning, as a first activity of the day, you should sit down and write 1 page of circles. And next day, write 1 page of T bars. Then the third day, circles, then T bars. So until next Wednesday, plain sheets and a pen, no pencil. And every day, whenever you're writing, whatever thoughts are coming, keep a record of it. You felt good, write down. You did not feel good, write down. You felt anxious, write down. You felt irritated, write down. You drank too much of water that day, write down. You felt more thirsty, write down. You felt more deprived of energy. So everything, start paying attention. In fact, I can tell you 13 things to pay attention when you're writing. But right now, start with only 2 things. Just pay attention what is happening. When I meet you next Wednesday, I'm going to be unmuting. And by the way, I want to ask a quick question. Today we wrote this. Can somebody tell me what was your experience of writing this? What was going through it? How many of you felt pain in the hand? If you experienced pain in the hand, I'll also tell you specific place where the hand pain will have happened. Raise your hand. Everybody come to the gallery mode. See all these people. I just made them write 4 lines. You had pain in your hand. Raise. And the pain was specifically in this part. Okay. And you'll experience the pain in the thumb and the index. You know why? Because it's a very important nerve which you're actually stimulating. How many of you actually felt that irritated? Imran, I felt not good. My body and my mind were saying, don't write, not for you. This is not for you. So you started resistance. How many of you felt that? And how many of you actually felt like writing more? Imran, you're telling only 4 lines. I want to write 5. I want to write 6. I want to write more. Just 4 lines. Look at it impacting you. Just 4 lines is impacting you. Now imagine if you do this as a regular pattern. Imagine if you do this as a regular habit. So observe and come back to me and tell me more. Will you all commit to do that? Yep. And those of you are already part of my community, we do something in the mornings, right? So join us for the morning graphotherapy practice. Reach out to us. We'll be happy to do it. But those of you who are not part of my community, you want to explore the possibility of being part of my community, we do a detailed webinar. So tomorrow, I'm doing a session on signature analysis. You'll have me and Miteji having a conversation, and you're welcome to attend and see how you can have this material shipped to you, and you don't have to wait for the Wednesday session to happen. So the idea here is that write down this statement and every day read this as an affirmation. The power to change my life is inside of me, not outside of me. And handwriting analysis is a beautiful ability for you to activate that power. Handwriting analysis and graphotherapy is a beautiful way for you to affirm that every day it's inside of you, not outside of you. You don't have to go out searching for anything. You don't have to do anything outside of you. It's all inside of you. And the control and the power is in your hand. The problem is we don't believe in it. We don't believe in it. The power to change my life is inside of me. The power to change my life is inside of me, not outside of me. So how many of you are committed towards activating that power which is inside of you? Yep. So I'll see you next Wednesday when you're going to be consistently practicing this and come back with results. And I'll tell you more patterns to write. I'll give you more insight, because the segment which we're going to be following for all these Wednesdays is, it's a very beautiful conversation I want to have with all of you. Let's focus on learning. Okay. So every Wednesday, we're going to come back after DMP to focus on this important thing: reprogramming your subconscious mind using your handwriting. And let's do that right now. So this is how it is going to be. So every Wednesday, we're going to come back for more logical explanation, more patterns, more understanding about this wonderful science, because this is the go-to factor. The world is getting present to it, and the access is available to you too, and take massive action. I'll see you next Wednesday. Until that time, keep writing. Keep writing. Thank you for all the responses on the chat box. I know that communication is directed to the host, and I'm present to all your questions. Thank you so much for asking. And I answered all these things through my conversations. I'll see you next Wednesday. Come prepared to share what was your experience of writing the Graphotherapy. And those of you already part of the community, thank you so much. And all the Platinum members, congratulations for being Platinum. There's no minimum lines, Ashu. Write as much as you can, but one full A4 size is a good idea, dear. Yeah, don't get onto the perfection. Okay, it's not about getting perfection. Don't worry. You're doing this for the first time. It's not going to be easy, but get started. I'll tell you how to do the corrections too. Yeah, that's what we do. You know, what happens is when you start with us in a systematic manner, we assign a facilitator who's a human being who's going to be with you, checking what you're writing is fine, any corrections, any feedbacks, all this is happening. But right now, let's not go there. Right now, you are your own facilitator. You're going to do your own checking. But when you're ready, we'll tell you how you can access our facilitator, and we can do this. And all this activity which I showed you right now is only for 17 years and above, not for children. Okay, don't make this to be done with children. You have to do this. This is for adults only. No, yeah, you can write both the alphabets daily, Shalini, but one page is enough. We also understand something called as dosages. Writing 2 letters in same day will be high dosage for you to handle. So gradually you'll increase it. But right now, 1 page a day, 1 pattern a day. 1 page a day and 1 pattern a day. Yeah. Don't worry, Tanuja. Pain is a good sign. Any type of discomfort you have experienced, I am happy. You know why? Congratulations, it's working. Okay. Any type of discomfort you experience, that means your body is responding. So that means kuch to ho raha hai, kuch to condition develop ho raha hai. So any type of a reaction in form of discomfort, irritation, or feeling good, that means it's working. Yes, only pen, not pencil, Varsha. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next Wednesday. Everybody, take care. Blessed night. Thank you for being amazing. You have to write with pen, Minu, not with pencil. Thank you.